This video looks at how to set up external contributors as part of the design team and what that actually means for your project on ArctechPro. So we take this project 2017_03 BCAR and we pop into it there. You can see there's a design team there, Anthony O'Shea down to Grant O'Neill. Where I'm getting that information from is if I go into edit project, I can add in design team roles and contacts against those roles. Both these areas, if the role isn't there, you can add a new role. If the contact isn't there, you can add a new contact. Now, so I have set up 5 different people or 5 different roles with 5 different people against those roles. I have also put in the options of external upload folders, so I'm going to put in tender and construction there. And what that means is that these 2 folders then pop up as folder options when people send information in to you as an ArctechPro user, and I can show you where that pops up again. But what this essentially means by adding in this detail here is when I go into my inspection plan and I go to edit inspection plan and I put in responsibility, these roles appear down in the bottom right in terms of the people against them and the roles and the initials set out against those roles. So if I want to add in those people against certain inspection steps, I can pop in the initials into any of these boxes here. So the build control reg section, obviously I'm not going to pop them there. What I'll put in there is what building regs are applicable to this inspection step. I can put in who's responsible for the design. I can put in if the design has been completed or not, and I can put in who's responsible for the inspection. Now if I want to put in that if I'm working as the design certifier, Anthony O'Shea, I want to put in that Kieran Byrne is responsible for the topography review. All I have to do is come in and click on DC. Okay, if I wanted to say that Connor Randall was in charge of looking after an inspection for the foundations, I could put in his initials there, which are A and C. So the initials are based on the roles rather than on the people. If I wanted to put in that it was Connor and Colm actually had to work on the foundations there, I just put in a plus sign and I go down to Colm's initials, which are MCon for our main contractor and MCON, and that adds those roles in. So I can do that all the way down. If I put in FM to number ones down, they don't have to make sense in this particular video, but it's just to show you that what actually happens. So I save those responsibilities. If I want to put in, say maybe AC a few more times, because that's the account I'll open on the external contributors as well. Or if we'll go for DC, we'll open that account. So if I just put in DC there. So it's not too important that that's the design certifier. I'm just to give you an example of what actually happens there. Save responsibilities. If I go to edit inspection plan, I can go to requirements and I can say that there's requirements set up for each of these steps. So I can say for underground water flows, there needs to be a requirement for that. You can put in document name or a certain element that needs to be carried out as part of that. And when people upload that document to yourselves and click on the underground water flows, that document appears to say, okay, is it this document that you want to pop up? So if I just put it in, say test documents just to show you, add that requirement, and what I'm going to do is I'm just going to go back to, I'm going to save that, and I'm going to go back to the edit inspection plan, to the responsibilities, and see, okay, so FM in terms of the water flows. So I just want to show what that actually means. So if I come into my options and go to external contributors, again that design team and their roles get pulled from the initial project page into this page here, and you can email them a link. So once they receive that link, they can actually start sending information back into your ArctechPro account. What that looks like for them then is if I click on more and open link, this is the page that they would see. So they don't have access to any other page or anything else within ArctechPro, but what they do see is your own logo, uploads for the name of the project, welcomes them to the actual BCAR portal, and then they say the type of upload it is, they choose the file, they see who it's uploaded by, they click on the folder option if applicable, they can put in comments against it, and then you can see that in this case Anthony O'Shea has responsibility for excavations, the pile foundations and covering foundations. So you can see he has responsibility for those 2 steps. If I go back a step to say Kieran Byrne as the design certifier, and I open up the link that he would see, he then has the same scenario here at the very top, but then he has responsibility for certain different things within that. So you can see that, and if we just open up one more, the fire mechanic there, Grant O'Neill, you can see that's where the underground water flows redirection, and if I click on that, there's the test document that I put into the requirements. So then he has to say, okay, it is this test requirement document. So if I jump back into, say, I jump back into Kieran Byrne, so he wants to say type of upload, so inspection report, ancillary certificate, or other. If it's other or ancillary certificate, nothing else happens, you just move on as normal. If you go to inspection report, then you have to pop in the date, and he also has to say who inspected it. So you pop in, say for example, Kieran Byrne. He chooses a file, so if I just choose a file here, so I've chosen a file here just off my own computer, Abbey Court House, as a W file, upload it by, again if I go Kieran Byrne for this example, and then upload folder. So remember earlier on when we put in the upload folders option on the edit projects page, where we put in that, okay, there's tender and construction, that's where this comes into play now. So a person that's external to the ArctechPro user account wants to send information to that ArctechPro user, and the ArctechPro user has set up folders to send information into. So I want to put it into construction, and then I want to put my comments in. I can say what it is against, which inspection steps they're against. I'm uploading documents for, if it's a document for all 3, or if it's a document just for 1, I can upload that document. Once I've uploaded it, it'll say it has been stored, thank you for using this facility. I can click on upload another document, and that pops in. I can also see what I've previously uploaded, so I've uploaded abbeycourthouse.pdf into the construction folder by, if I am Kieran Byrne in this case, on this date at this time, and I can view the document that I've uploaded as well. What that looks like then in terms of the inspection plan for the ArctechPro user is, if we go back and we click on, we go back to the initial one here, and we go back to the inspection plan. So Kieran Byrne, you can see there that the review and exam and topography service is heading out, has a date on it now. If I go to edit, it says inspection plan uploaded by Kieran Byrne on this date. I can open that uploaded document, it opens up a PDF. So this is just a bit of dummy information I popped up myself. So in this case it's actually drawings, so there's no need to look at that drawings, but if it was an inspection report, then it'll come in that way, and then that's how you can open it up, and you can add different comments to it then as well yourself. And as always, if you want to go back a step, there's breadcrumbs along the top, so just go back to inspection plan there, and that comes into the system. So that's how you use the external contributors field. That's how they have the facility to use the ArctechPro system. Obviously the inspection plan documentation will pop into your inspection plan, and then if you want to have a look at it as well, it'll also pop in here. So in terms of Kieran or Grant O'Neill, so it was Grant O'Neill, sorry, that uploaded that on the 26th. If I click on that, I can view it there as well. So all the list of documents will pop into here, and you can see how many documents have been uploaded from each one of your external contributors, and that's how you use the design team and external contributors field.